Now, what you got to understand is this. A television is exactly what it says. It tells you a vision. But more importantly, this is ancient extraterrestrial technology. When I tell y'all about the three popes, the white pope, the black pope, and the gray pope, each one of those popes runs a pillar of our lives that we don't understand. The white pope, of course, religion. So you know about that. Most of y'all don't know about the black pope and the gray pope, and there's a reason. Each one of those popes runs a division of control that's in our lives. Okay? And I'm finna show you just how important that is on when he covered that TV screen, they went to clap because they know how poisonous that is to the mind. Okay? When you think Jerry Springer got as big as it did just because he doing a talk show, and fuck no. Okay? They understand that dealing with media, dealing with television, and anything dealing with any type of publication, it controls the people's perception. That means you're not even thinking for yourself. They're thinking for you. Okay, let's go a step further. Don't you know when you watch Jerry Springer in the crowd, they got people planted in the crowd. And they got cameras that's going to zoom in on these different facial expressions. So when the audience on the stage say something, you got people in the crowd or do shit like, and they capture it. Or people doing stuff like, whatever facial expression it is, that facial signal goes out to everybody that's watching to tell a vision. So therefore, you pick up on that perception that they want you to have. And this is why a lot of people sit at home watching these shows and say shit like, black people ain't shit. Because they understand they can pay you a couple dollars to come on there and act an ass. This is your 5 minutes of fame. You're going to get black people, you're going to get white people, but you ain't going to get none of them J's. Because they control all this shit. See, you ain't going to get them J's to get on stage to talk about their people. Everybody else in the rest of the world, matter of fact, you ain't going to get no Chinese people on there, Asian people. You're only going to get mostly black people and a few white people. So you must understand that we've been programmed to see other cultures based off what they want us to see. Because when shit good happen, oh, you don't see that shit on TV. Hell no. A person will talk about everything bad you did, and every time you do something good, a bitch ain't gonna open their mouth. This is by design. I'm trying to show y'all how these shows on TV control our perceptions. And they're put on TV for a fucking reason. Just imagine you don't watch Jerry Springer all these years and never thought about this. These are actors. These people capture people in the crowd making those facial expressions so everybody, the viewers at home, can pick up on that frequency. You see how that shit works? You see how powerful that is? So when you see somebody white up there acting crazy and shit, you got other white people say, look at that white motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? You got black people acting crazy. Oh, I'm not the father. Them big go to dancing. Like they make that shit a real thing. And when they edit that shit, they put that music behind it. They put them small little clips. And that shit just be like, oh, and we at home being interviewed. We at home being the viewers. We're being entertained. Enter means to come within a space. Tame means to keep you there, like a container. Don't a container keep shit in one space? You see what I'm saying? You must understand all this shit is by design. Now, when you see Tyler Perry, no disrespect, Tyler Perry, whatever the case may be, I'm just using him as an example. I 100% don't believe the shows he's putting out is all him. They using him to get to us. How would it look if a Chinese man was putting out all these motherfucking films about black people? That shit won't even look right. Even though there's going to be a J that's behind the scenes putting the money up. Okay? Because they need people like him to put movies and shit out to us, his people, so that we don't think about it. You know what I'm saying? That's why they got 50 Cent putting out movies, Raising Kanan. Do you see some of the shit that they putting on that shit? How the fuck can on Raising Kanan? How can Rock, if you know it, Rock, which is the daughter, how she went to all her sons to kill her because she was dying, and she so-called was a bad mother. None of the guys would kill her, but her daughter killed their ass in the instance. Look at the corruption they put on TV. When drugs hit the street, what was the two biggest movies? I tell y'all this all the time. The two biggest movies that hit Blockbuster, and there's people still dead behind that shit. It's still people still in prison behind these two movies. When dope and cocaine hit the streets, the biggest two movies was Scarface and New Jack City. Do you know how graphical New Jack City was? So when you go back and look at these movies, you start to put these timelines together. You start to think like, you know what, this nigga he on to something. They do this all the time. Distractions. Everything you know about the world, 90% came from Hollywood. What do a demon look like? You done seen, oh, the eyes look like this, the hair and all. That's their perception of what a demon is. A demon could be right here sleeping beside you every night. A demon could be your fucking co-worker, your boss, your cousin. But the perception of demonism or something of a demonic person, zombies and shit. You think a zombie is somebody who walking all slow? No, zombies are motherfuckers who line up and buy Jordans. Zombies are motherfuckers who line up and buy iPhones. So you must understand the tool and weaponry of television, of a camera, period. That's why I'm very careful what I put in front of a camera. Anything around you could be weaponized. Your children weaponize you. You think your children stupid? You think them little kids crazy? When them little kids go around grandma let them do whatever the fuck they want to do. Grandma at an age where she understands. She done been through life. She just love everything. She probably wasn't as good with her own kids. But a lot of times they make it up with their grandkids. So they let their grandkids do whatever the fuck they want. Them kids know they can go to grandma's house and get what they want, eat what they want, stay up how long they want. And then here you come putting in is instilling discipline and order. They don't want that shit. So they weaponize it. You follow what I'm saying? People weaponize shit all the time. But what I'm telling you is this. It's very important for you to understand. Television, radio, okay? Billboards, marketing. You have to understand these things on the effects they have on you. A lot of times y'all buying shit and don't even know why y'all buying it. Doing shit and don't know why you doing it. Subconsciously, you've been programmed through TV. They use colors, sounds, and different frequencies. That's why when the TV say, I cut that shit off. You see what I'm saying? These people understand the way your brain works, and you have no idea of how it works. I tell y'all all the time, these people use attention engineers to write commercials. Then depending on the product, this commercial or this script will attack the left or right brain. Okay? It'll attack the left side or the right side of your brain depending on whatever product they're trying to push. You must understand, bro. Like I tell you, man, a lot of times when I come across all this information and I see it, and it makes so much sense because they could put a fucking chicken sandwich out at Popeyes and have the world lining up, fighting, trying to get it, and no one says, why? How is that possible? How could they promote a chicken sandwich and have people lining up around the world over a motherfucking chicken sandwich? People fighting, people cussing, people spending their time just standing in them lines. And nobody said, ask why. Because I'm telling you, bro, there's frequencies that can attack whatever emotion you're going through. If you're hungry, there's a frequency for hunger. You horny? There's a frequency for horny. Remember I told y'all about sound drugs. Go look it up. Man, y'all think I'm just talking out my motherfucking neck, nigga? Go look up sound drugs. How they take certain specific frequencies and harness it and amplify it to whatever emotion they're trying to amplify. That's why when you go to these big rave parties, people going crazy and shit, you think they just going crazy? There's certain frequencies in this music that zooms in on a certain emotion and it amplifies it. Why you think music's so fucking powerful? Why you think the devil was a musician? Y'all don't understand this shit. This shit is just frequencies, bro. And they want you to operate from your lower chakra. That's why they always involve sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Those are the three things, man. When I say drugs, I ain't talking about those drugs on the screen. Anything that alters your primary consciousness, that takes you out of your consciousness, your natural consciousness, that's drugs. You're not yourself. I told you the word alcohol came from the word akul. It's in the Bible. Akul is a demonic entity that when you start drinking, it allows it to get into you. You opening yourself up. This is why when people get drunk, they get promiscuous. They commit crimes. They cuss people out that they love. And when you show them the tape the next day, they like, that ain't me. You right, motherfucker, it ain't you. You goddamn right, it ain't you. That's where they get the word akul. Why you think they call liquor stores spirits? You ever thought about that? They call them spirits because that's exactly what it is. When you drink alcohol, you're altering yourself to become someone else, because now you're opening yourself for other entities to enter you. And whether you believe it or not, whether you think it's true or not, that ain't gonna save you, motherfucker. Your ignorance is not gonna save you. Of course they don't want you to know. Because if you knew, as a matter of fact, think about what I'm saying. Do it make sense? When you drink, don't you become somebody different? Not saying all people become somebody totally different, but you're not yourself. You go to saying shit you normally wouldn't say. You're a little more loose. You're a little more confident. Some people just overconfident, over loose, over sexual. It attacks different people differently. But 100%, you ain't yourself. You could throw a grain of salt in the sea. You just changed the sea. It might be very minute, but you just changed it. So when you drink a little bit, you may not, you hell no, you ain't yourself. Whether you far away from yourself or close, you still ain't yourself. So think about this stuff, man. I just want to drop that on y'all, man. Make sure y'all put your comments in the bottom of this video. And think about it, man. Frequencies. When you watch shit on TV, watch the shows, watch the words. You know what I'm saying? The symbolism around it, because that little square box. So I told y'all everything in squares. You're talking about asymmetry and symmetry. Asymmetry and symmetry. One of them traps energy, and one of them promotes positive energy. That's why synagogues and shit, when you see them, they so theatrical. You walk in and you like, whoa, because of the shapes and the way that from a Masonic standpoint, the way that they created it, it gives off positive energy. But we live in America where everything is squares, which traps energy. It's your boy Papa Dub, man. Make sure y'all lock in and tune in, man. I'll get with y'all on the next one, man. Peace.